envelope is here, it's come to play, and I'm realizing things about myself. Hello everyone, my name is Reagan, welcome to today's video. If you can't tell, I got a haircut. I'm getting used to it a little bit. It's a lot shorter than I normally go, but I'm liking it so far. We'll see how I feel about it like tomorrow when I wake up and it's not styled by my hairstylist. I think it makes me look a little bit older. Anyways, that's not the point. Today we're here to talk about my spring TBR. What books I'm looking at getting to this coming spring. I've compiled a list of, I don't even know how many, just like the things that came to the top of my mind. Granted, it's already April. It's almost May. It's a little bit limited in that aspect. Like, I'm definitely not going to be getting to all of these in the spring, but they're just the ones that are like on my immediate radar for the spring. So back, grab a drink, and let's talk about some books. Strawberry Ice Matcha, that is my favorite. The first book I'm talking about today is The Wedding People by Alison S. Batch. Sorry if I said that last name wrong. I don't really know how to pronounce it. This is a book that I want to read for a video, but also the cover has really just caught my eye. It's beautiful. I personally have never been to a wedding. The aspect of like weddings interest me. I don't know what they're like, so I think reading about one would be really cool. I don't really know what it's about, but I'm assuming there's a wedding involved. It looks like it's very summer spring vibes, and this cover just gives me like the color palette of May. It's also a general fiction book, and I don't read a lot of general fiction. I'm normally in like the romance, the fantasy. I've dabbled in historical fiction, but I don't generally read just fiction. And I'm pretty sure this has like an undertone of romance in it, but I don't think that's the point. I'd be surprised if there wasn't an undertone of romance, because I feel like most fiction books and most books in general have an undertone of romance, because it's something that everyone craves and looks for the most part. Not everyone, but a lot of people in their lives. So if you're writing a story about a fiction about someone's life, romance typically gets thrown in there. I'm getting into a general fiction era. I have never been in that era of my life before. I don't know how it's going to look. Next is a completely different track. Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the fantasy that I'm looking to pick up directly next. Like, I want to pick this up like today. Part of like a interconnected standalone series, I think, and it's an adult fantasy. I read the young adult fantasy version, like the first version of this series. Don't really know what it's about, but I've been craving a little bit of fantasy romance. I wasn't really excited to pick this up for a long time until I heard Mariana on like, I think it was Instagram. She was doing like a underrated, appropriately rated, overhyped kind of thing, and she specifically said this book was super underrated, so then it made me really excited to pick it up. I really like the cover, and it kind of gives spring to me with like the floral and gold. I'm not a fan of the sprayed edge, so I don't like a sprayed edge unless it's like beautifully stenciled, but this just like purple sprayed edge, I feel like it looks bad, it flakes off, it gets on my hands. I don't like it, but I am excited to read it. It's like a nice floppy, beautiful like paperback that I just want to curl up at my bed and read tonight, hopefully. I do have some studying to do though, because it's exam season, but the next two books are a part of a series. We have Lost and Lassoed and then Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. These are both cowboy romances. They're the last two books in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. I read the first two, I want to say, and I haven't continued on with the series yet. I meant to read this before this came out in April this month, but I didn't get to it, so I'd like to read these like back to back, hopefully, maybe even in like 24 hours. I just think they'll be lighthearted, really quick, super fun for spring. The covers are so gorgeous. I love the cartoon, not cartoon cover, but like the comic book cartoon style of these covers, and I think they are so gorgeous. These colors give me like spring. This literally looks like a scene off of my April mood board. This first one follows Teddy and Gus, which is like my favorite or like most anticipated couple from the series, and then this one follows Camille and Dusty. Honestly, don't really remember where they fall into the series as a whole, but I'm sure I'll pick it up as I go because they're pretty quick and they're very good. I like recapping, but they are interconnected standalones. I next have two Jessa books. I read one Jessa Hastings book. I read the first Magnolia Parks way back when in like 2022 or 2021, and I really enjoyed it, but I haven't picked up any books since because I'm scared. There's two things I'm scared of. I'm scared of being in love with the series and like can't let it go, and I'm also scared that I'm not going to be in love with the series. I will be in the minority that doesn't like it. Not minority, because it's not the minority, but like group of people who don't love the series like that, and I don't want to be in that group. I want to be in the group that loves it really bad, and I think I will be. I just actually have to like do it, but I'm scared. I want to get to Never by Jessa this spring, and a lot of people do not like this book. I can't say if I'm gonna like it or not, but I do know that Peter Pan is one of my favorite childhood stories, still to this day one of my favorite Disney movies. A very unpopular opinion, but I love the original Jan Barry version of Peter Pan, and then I also love the like Disney version of Peter Pan. Any story that has like a Peter Pan aspect or like even kind of plot line or anything like that Peter Pan inspired, I typically love. I would really like to pick this up and make my own opinion about it. I've seen few people enjoy it, and this is one of the most beautiful covers on a book that I own by far. Like, the illustrations on Jess's books are just everything. I think I'll like this. Like, I think I will. I think I've just been saving it for a time in which it calls to me, and so I want to pick this up this spring. I also want to read The Conditions of Will by Jessa because this is her newest release. I want to take a page out of Emmy's book where she reads the newest work of the author and then works her way backwards. I kind of want to do that. Like, I kind of want to read this first. It's a standalone. I don't have to commit to a series, and then move on to Never, and then go back to Magnolia Parks, reread Magnolia, and go all the way through the series. The one thing I don't love about this book is the deckled edges. I'm not a deckled edges fan, and I also hate when they do this. What is the point of that? I don't understand it. The illustrations are beautiful, and I know they all mean something. I just don't know what yet. It's also set in South Carolina, and I live in North Carolina, so I think that'd be pretty cool to read. Not that there's like any connection. It's a completely different state. It is in the Carolinas, and like I think that's cool. I think it's cool when there's a book set in my state, which doesn't often happen, and this is like the closest thing I've had to it in a little while. I also have heard overwhelmingly positive things about this, so I so want to get to it. I have another fantasy, and I've been craving fantasy like no other recently. I think I just need like escapism right now. But this is The Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. I've heard Madison Kate talk about this. I want to be as obsessed with this book as she is. I don't know what it's about. I saw it at Barnes & Noble one day and just like picked it up and bought it. I have the audiobook on Audible. I probably won't. I don't know if I'm going to read the audiobook of it or if I'm going to pick up the physical copy or like do both. I have that option if I want that option. The cover is really pretty. The way that they've done the reflection on it and like the shiny parts is so beautiful, and then there's like not shiny parts, which is so gorgeous. I just want to be obsessed with the fantasy world again. Like, in my heart of hearts, like be utterly obsessed with the fantasy world, and I think that this could maybe get me there. Like, it's not something that's going to rip my heart out maybe, but I could be obsessed, and that's what I'm looking for. Next, I really want to get to The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I've heard so many good things about this book. Madison Kate talked about it. I really want to pick it up. The cover itself is just so stunning. The color palette gives me spring March, but I don't think I'm going to get to it in March. If I did, this would be so aesthetic March vibes. It's supposedly categorized as a thriller. That's what it said. I've heard that you're supposed to go into it expecting more literary fiction. I can do that. Now that I know that, I think I might enjoy it more. Not enjoy it more, but just like temper my expectations, kind of. I haven't really been big into my thrillers recently, but I have been into the literary fiction. It's about people who like vanish from a summer camp. It's like coming up on summer, so I think this would be like the perfect spooky eerie vibes for like this time of year. What really draws me in is the cover. Like, if I'm being honest, yes, I judge a book by its cover. Like, that is mainly what I judge a book on. This cover is definitely not ugly, therefore I want to read it. I really would like to get to Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton this spring. Again, mainly for the cover. These colors, this like cover gives so spring to me. I like scratched myself or something, and now I'm red. That's okay. Anyways, this is gonna sound like probably a little stupid. I recently have felt that I can feel my frontal lobe developing, and I think that this, when I'm reading it, I won't get that feeling of like everything is clicking. My frontal lobe is here, it's come to play, and I'm realizing things about myself that make me question my identity, and I like kind of love that feeling. I love the feeling when you're like in your head and you're like, I know I'm growing right now. And I think that this book will give me that. I think it's a lot about female friendship is what I've heard, but it also touches on like romantic love and other things like that. So growing up, growing older, and learning to navigate friendships, jobs, loss, and romance along the way. That's what the sentence on the back says, and I think that is exactly what I need right now, and I want to consume while my frontal lobe develops. If that falls, I'm going to be super upset. Next, I really want to get to Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. This is Emily Henry's new release, obviously. I got it in the mail yesterday. It came out yesterday. I read Funny Story back when it came out, like last spring, summertime, and I would love to read this one. I've heard mixed things about it, but I think it's also the most literary fiction that Emily Henry has given us so far. It's like 400 pages, I just checked. That's long for an Emily Henry book. I think Emily Henry always gives me something that I can grasp onto. I've never rated her books very low. I think the minimum I've ever rated one of her books is a 4. I never really have like a bad Emily Henry experience, so I think I need that right now. Like I need a book that's like all reliable, that I can go in and know that like it will give me something, whether it's a favorite or not. It will give me at least the good writing that I like from Emily Henry. The last book that I want to get to is Daughter of No World. This is a fantasy that I've been eyeing super heavily. This is by Carissa Broadbent. The original indie published covers, which is this, is going out of print. I have a little gripe with this because I ended up getting my hands on this one and the third one right here, but I'm missing the second one. And I would love to complete my collection because these covers give me so much serotonin. Like literally since I've gotten them the past few weeks, I've literally walked to my bookshelves, picked them up and just admired them. Like looked at them like they were pieces of art, like paintings. Anybody out there has a copy of the second book in paperback like this that they want to get rid of but don't want to sell it for an exorbitant amount of money, please, I will do anything. I need the second one. Like I need a complete copy. I need a complete set on my shelves. Someone probably wants this more than me. Someone who actually has read this series, but please. I will be on the hunt for this secondhand for the rest of my life, and I will probably never find it. I want to get to this so bad. I read the back and it made me actually gasp. Like I think this is going to be one of my new favorite fantasy series. Like I can almost do that with complete confidence because I've heard so many good things. I love Carissa Broadbent's writing. I've read 2 of her books so far. So I think this is a story I'll grasp onto more and I want to read it so bad. I think this might be one of the next books that I pick up like really soon because I keep going back to it and looking at it and being like, I need this in my brain. Like that feeling like get into my head already. These are all the books that I want to read this spring. This stack is heavy. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what books you want to read this spring and give me any recommendations you might have. Thank you so much. Bye.